The men and women that serve in our military, most everyone that I've ever met, and I was in the Marine Corps, most everyone that I've ever met are just regular everyday folks. Unfortunately, you get predators that join the military. And it makes it even worse because those that join the military that aren't these moronic predators are there to serve their country. To join the military, you sign a check that up to and including your life, you're willing to give to this country and to the people of this country. So we have a young lady, Navy seaman, Angelina Resendez. This young woman's life was taken, and it looks like it's another sailor. Now, let me tell you something. This isn't the only thing that happens to women in the military. There's a story, and I'm not going to tell you how I know about this story, but several years back, there was a person that joined the Coast Guard that he got put in charge of barracks. Now, I don't know why he decided to go on the little power trip that he did, but he got put in charge of barracks. He didn't take any of their lives, even though I know for a fact that at least one of them attempted to take her own life because of this. He would wait until these young women were drunk. Because he was in charge of the barracks, he had keys. He would watch for these young women who were drunk, and he would supposedly help them into their room. And he would do things of an intimate nature that it took him. He had actually left the Coast Guard before they got enough evidence on him on 6 women that he did this to, and they suspect that he did far more than just 6 women that he did these nasty acts on. Now, I'm going to let you see a video clip from Norfolk about Seaman Resendez, and then we're going to come back.
Howdy, y'all. This is Paul, the Redneck Thinker. What we have here is a channel to communicate. I want you folks to be thinking by the time you leave my videos. Why? Because I'm tired of people talking via what other people tell them to think. So, watch my video and enjoy the chance to think for yourself.
We begin tonight with breaking news out of Norfolk surrounding a missing sailor.
A spokesperson for the family of Angelina Resendez has confirmed to me moments ago that a body found last night in Norfolk is Angelina. And just moments ago, we got a statement from the Navy saying another sailor has been placed in pre-trial confinement in connection to the death of Seaman Angelina Resendez. Charges under the Uniform Code of Military Justice are pending.
All right, News 3 reporter Jay Green following these breaking developments and joined us now. And Jay, just in the last few minutes, so many late breaking details. What do we know at this hour?
Yeah, a lot coming into our newsroom this hour. A family spokesperson says they are heartbroken, and now they are calling out the Navy for how they handled Angelina's disappearance. I want to share more of that statement sent to us from a family spokesperson. They are now in a pursuit of justice to hold those responsible for their daughter's death accountable. According to the statement, the family says they were not properly notified about Resendez's disappearance. They are now calling on multiple lawmakers, including Senators Tim Kaine and Mark Warner, even President Donald Trump, to address what happened. The statement says, quote, "The family demands accountability for oversight that put her life at risk and for mishandling that delayed justice, emphasizing the urgent need to address how official channels failed to notify them promptly and properly, relying instead on unofficial sources like the media, which underscores deep systemic failures." It goes on to say, quote, The Navy's failures threaten all families and the integrity of our military system, and Congress must reform these processes to prevent future tragedies for the safety of all families and the integrity of our nation. Now, we are working to get statements from all of those lawmakers. Actually, we have a statement from Senator Warner that I'll read here momentarily for you, but we're also working to get statements from the Navy as well. Let's get to some video from the scene last night out in the Broad Creek neighborhood. This is behind the school and the library, kind of in a wooded area off Cary Avenue behind the Broad Creek apartments. So you can see so many people watched as local and federal investigators went into that area. Now, earlier this week, we heard from Angelina's mom, and now we're hearing from friends who spoke to our sister station, Angelina's home state of Texas.
And I love you. Everything's gonna be okay. But one way or another, we're gonna see each other again.
I definitely would never think it would happen to, especially Angelina.
Part of me thinks like she's just gonna call me tomorrow.
Yeah, now NCIS confirms a sailor is in pretrial confinement in connection with her death, and that charges are pending, but there are still lots of questions, including what evidence drew authorities to that area of Broad Creek, and of course, we'll keep you posted as you learn more. I do want to get to that statement that we just got into our newsroom. I'm reading it off my phone from Senator Mark Warner. He says the loss of any service member is a tragedy. He goes on to say, I am in touch with the Navy about this investigation, and we will be pressing for more information. So yeah, Jessica and Kurt, obviously a lot of emotions here as we bring in this news.
And it's telling to get that statement from Senator Mark Warner. He was a champion of the Ashanti Alert. You'll remember she was a Virginia Beach College student who was abducted from a Norfolk base and found dead in the Charlotte, North Carolina area several years ago. Her disappearance led to the critically missing adult alert known as the Ashanti Alert, which is what was issued for Angelina days after her disappearance. And now we know that she has passed away.
All right, so Jay, we know that you're going to be working on more updates to have for us tonight at 6. And we want to point out our team has followed this story since we first got word that Resendez was missing. You can find our full coverage and the latest as we learn more from medical examiner about the circumstances in her deaths. That's at WTKR.com. But Jay's going to head back into the newsroom and work on getting any new information, and he'll have that for us in less than an hour.
Now look, this has been going on for a long time, but I know when I was in, we didn't allow this to happen, but that was in the Marine Corps. But I also know for a fact that many of my friends that were in the Army, they would have done nasty things if they had caught somebody doing this to a woman. So it's not like these people are wanted in the military, but they come in the military, one, so they can learn how to be better predators. That's the sad part about this. The skills that you learn to defend your country help make these animals better predators. And two, they join the military because, well, these are folks that the men and women in the military are so busy trying to build bonds because you need to be able to trust the person beside you. And it gives them the opportunity to an enclosed area that they can track people. And all they have to do is say that, oh yeah, I'm going to go see my buddy over here. This needs to end. And no, I'm not against women in the military. We need military women. I mean, for Pete's sakes, I know of some women that can do things with firearms when it comes to fixing them and shooting them that, I'm sorry, I know some guys that could take lessons from these women. There are women that go out there and do medical jobs in the military that are far better than the guys. And okay, this is probably going to sound sexist, but as a guy, I know for a fact that other guys, and myself included, wants to look up and see a woman's face when they're sitting there in pain because, well, it does make a guy feel better to see a woman's face looking down at you when you're needing some kind of comfort. It's not like that you're going to get hugged or anything like that. It's not like that we're trying to do anything. It's just a comfort thing. These women are serving their country. They do not need this illness affecting them. Too many times in recent time or in the recent years have I heard of women disappearing from the military bases that do not need to be disappearing from the military bases. If you are a brother in the military, and no, that is not a skin color thing. The men and women that serve in the military are brothers and sisters to each other. We're one large family. We might fight with each other, but let me tell you something. I might make fun of the Navy, but I'm making fun of the Navy as having been a jarhead. So no, I'm not going to tolerate some civilian sitting there calling the military what they call the military. But it doesn't mean that I won't step up in between somebody and that I won't step up between one of my brothers or sisters and some animal that's preying on them. And I know for a fact, even to this day, that there are a lot of those in the military of all the branches, Air Force, Coast Guard, Marine Corps. I don't know about the Space Force because I don't know anybody in the Space Force, but I'm pretty certain that there are probably those that are in the Space Force, Army, all those branches. I am pretty certain that they will still stand up. And ladies and gentlemen, we need that to start happening because this is starting to happen again, or this is starting to happen, and it's starting to grow, and it needs to end now. And the way to do it is not through the Uniform Code of Military Justice. These predators need to be found, and you're putting people at risk if you don't find them. This has been Paul, the Redneck Thinker. Y'all have a good day now. Bye. So, folks, that's the story that I wanted to bring you on this video. And I just wanted to say thank you again for coming by. Hit like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff if you don't mind. Help me out. So, y'all have a good day now. Bye.